Hello and welcome to Consulting Ninja. If you are new to my channel, please like and subscribe. If you find this content helpful, hit that notification bell and don't forget to check out my website, consultingninja.tech. With that out of the way, let's get right to it. We are going to make a user authentication app using PocketBase and SvelteKit. We have 4 pages, a home, a register page with a register form, a login page with a login form, an authenticated route, and a logout button. The application looks like this. The user can enter in all their information and register. Upon successful registration, it will move you to the login page. In the login page, the user will enter their email address and password. After logging in, it will automatically move them to the authenticated route with their information available. We also have the logout button where they can click that and it will remove the cookie and log them out and send them back to the home page. Also inside of our hooks file, we will be using the loadFromCookie, the exportToCookie, and refreshing the token in here as well. So if you want to see how to do this, stay tuned. That's what we're doing right now. So jumping right into the source code, let me first just point out that all of the source code is available in my repository. A link will be in the description of the video. We do need to instantiate a PocketBase client instance. I've gone back and forth with where is the best place to put this. You can put this in a server-side only module inside of libserver. That way it will reduce the number of client instances you're creating. I haven't really noticed a difference, and so I'm actually leaning towards moving this back into the handle hook, which does create a new instance on every request. I haven't noticed any problems doing that. The one thing I did notice is that there is only one auth store per client. So if you auth with password inside of your admins, it will clear out your user information. Also, if you auth with password for your user to sign in, it will clear out your admin information from the auth store. So keep that in mind when you're deciding where you would like to have your PocketBase instances created. I am starting with a register route. I have taken the code from the recent form video that I did for SvelteKit, so you can copy and paste that if you'd like to use that as a jump start point if you want to follow along. So with the register markup already going, let's jump right into the pluspage.server.js where we'll have our register function. We first need to import redirect from svelte.js/kit. Then we need to export const actions and make our register function. This is going to be an async. And inside of here, we're going to destructure the request and locals. And then let's pull out our form. So form equals await request.formData. Then we're going to need to get our first name. I am going to throw in the empty string on there if there's nothing there, just to be sure. And then our last name. And our email. And our password. And the username. PocketBase doesn't let you have any white space in your usernames, so here we'll also remove all white space. So we do a username.replace, and what we're replacing is a regular expression, \/\s plus /g, and we're going to replace those with the empty string. So we just want to take them out. We're not swapping them with something else. And I like to have camel casing, so we'll have user, capital N, no space. Let's fire up a create result variable and instantiate this with false. We'll start with false here. And then we're also going to do the same thing with a data object. This will be first name, last name, email, password. We'll just start with the empty string. And password confirm. Same thing. And the username will be the user without the space. We're also going to fire up a response object. So let register response and let's make the error property false to start. The email will be email. First name, last name, username, user no space, and a message of empty string. So next what we'll do is we'll put a try catch block and we'll set the password to be the password and the password confirmed to be the password, and then we'll try to attempt to create the user. So we'll do a const result equals await locals.userpb collection users dot create, and we pass in data. Now we say if result. So if result comes back as true and there's no errors, we're going to set create result to true, and then we're going to catch any errors. So catch error, and you can console.log it if you'd like, but what I really want to do is set the register response error to true so that we can display that, and the register response message to the message that comes back. And then what we want to do is finally, if not create result, then return register response. If create result is there, then we'll throw a redirect with a status of 303 to the login page. So if everything goes as planned, we will redirect to the login page. Alright, so you can give that file a save. Inside of our hooks.server, we are instantiating PocketBase and sending that along, so that's good. But one of the other things that I want to do before we write to the login page, let's add our loading from cookie and our refreshing and all of that good stuff inside of our hooks file. So just after where we're setting the locals here, what we're going to add to this file is we're going to add a load the auth store from the cookie. And what we're going to do is event.locals.userpb.authstore.loadFromCookie, and this is close, but we need to change event.request headers.get the cookie header, otherwise empty string. And we got too many. So let's look for the cookie header inside of the request. If it's there, pull it out and load the auth store from that. Then what we'll do is we'll have a try, and the first thing we're going to do is refresh the auth store if it is not valid. So we do a if not event.locals.userpb.authstore.isValid. This is a nice piece of functionality that PocketBase provides. It tells you if it is valid or not. Then we're going to await event.locals.userpb.authstore.refresh. So we want to refresh that. And then we want to take the model that comes back inside of the auth store and spread it out. That's all of your user information. So let's add a comment here. Spread the model to locals.user to be available in all pages. This will be available through locals, so you'd have to access this with a load function. If you want to make use of it. So event.locals.user equals, and this will be an object where we spread out event.locals.userpb.authStore.model. Next, what we want to do is catch any errors. And you can console.log them if you want. I usually just put in here error in hooks, just so that you know what's going on. And then event.locals. If the refresh has any issues, then we want to clear out the auth information. We don't want to leave a user logged in if the token was no longer good. So event.locals.userpb.authStore.clear. So that's all sweet. Now, if that was successful, we want to do one other thing, and that is to set a new cookie so that the cookie is set with the most current authentication information. So let's do a set the cookie, and we want to do this after the event is resolved to a response. So what we do is response.headers.set, and we want to do the set cookie. That's right, and we want event.locals.userpb.authStore, and what we want to do here is .exportToCookie. It's a built-in function that PocketBase provides. Makes it really easy to export our auth information to a cookie. Now that way we'll have the most up-to-date authentication information always available in all of our load functions and in all of our form actions. That's going to be really helpful for us to have. So go ahead and give that file a save. So with our register function done and our hooks.server file set up, let's go ahead and make our login route. So inside of routes, let's create a new folder called login. And so take the form, cut out the pieces that you're not going to use so that we just have the email and the password field. So with our markup all done, let's go ahead and create our pluspage.server.js. And this is going to be pretty straightforward as well. We need to import redirect from @SvelteJS/kit. And then again, we're going to export const actions. Here we're going to have a login action that will be an async. We will need request and locals. So that's good. And we can close that off and close off our actions object. Now inside of here, we're going to need to get the login information. So login form data equals await request.formData. Let's get our email, login form data.get email, and our password, const password, login form data.get password. Again, put that nullish coalescing operator on there so that if it's empty, we get the empty string, not an error. Then let's start up a login response. Let login response equal an object with the email address. The error will start with true, and the message will just start with an empty string. Now we'll do a try catch block, so try, and we want to await locals.userpb.collection.authWithPassword, and we want to pass in the email and the password. Email first and then password. Then what we want to do is if locals.userpb.authStore.is valid. So if the authentication is valid, then we want to throw redirect, and 303 status is good. Where we want to redirect to is the auth route. Then let's make a finally block, and inside of here we'll just do an if not locals. We can just copy this, so if this is not true, so if it's not valid, then we want to return the login response. Alright, so you can give that a save. So next, let's create our auth route. So Inside of here, let's create a new file and just make a plus page .svelte. And in here, let's just keep this super simple. Let's make a script and export let data. We'll just make an H1 that says welcome, and then brackets. Let's do data question mark dot user dot first name. Inside of auth, let's create a plus page dot server. Inside of here, what we're going to do is just do a little bit of checking. So let's first import redirect. And this will be from svelte.js/kit. And then we're just going to make a load function. So export function load. And we're going to destructure out our locals so that we can check our locals. If you wanted to console.log to see what was going on, this would be a good place to do that. But we're essentially going to do the same check that we just did. If not locals.userpb.authstore is valid, let's send them back to the login page. So if not locals.userpb.authstore is valid, throw redirect with a status of 303 back to login. Otherwise, it is there, so let's make our user. And you can just pull out first name if you'd like. Or you could just destructure the whole user here and return the whole user. And the user will be in locals.user.firstname, because we pulled that out inside of our hook. And then you can just go ahead and return user. And then lastly, before we play with this, let's just go ahead and create our logout button right away. Actually, there's two things we need to do. Let's create our logout. So create a new folder called logout inside of your routes. And for logout, this is super straightforward. You don't even need a plus page.svelte because your user's never going to be here. All we're making is a plus page.server.js. And we need to import redirect, so let's just copy and paste that. I mean to type this a million times. Paste that in there, and then we're just making a load function. Export function load, pull out your locals, close that off, and then inside of here, what we're going to do is if locals.userpb.authstore, let's check to see if that base token is there. Rather than checking if it's valid, because we don't care if it's valid. If there's a token there and the user is wanting to log out, we don't care if it's current or not. We just want to clear it out. So locals.userpb.authstore.clear. That will clear out your auth information, and then just throw a redirect. And let's just go 303, but let's go back to the home page. And then the last thing that we need to do is the navbar. We need to add in our links. So let's create our login. This will be to login /login, and then the auth ahref /auth to auth, and then the logout will be to, you guessed it, logout. Now, the one thing here though inside of the navigation bar that you are going to want to do is for your auth and your logout, you're going to want to shut off, make sure that the preloading is off for these two. You definitely don't want to have the user log out when they hover over the logout button. We want to actually make them click it. We also don't want to be trying to load the auth information for the auth route if they don't actually click the button. So we do that by setting the data-SvelteKit-preload-data equal to off. and put that on both the auth and the logout links. Alright, so give all of that a save, make sure everything's saved, and let's go play around with this. Alright, so let's go give this a try. Alright, so let's go ahead and register a user and sign in. And there's our welcome message. So we've successfully registered, signed in, we're on the authenticated route, and if we click log out, we cleared the cookie. Let's go double check, make sure that that worked. Cookie is in fact not there, so we're all signed out. So there it is. There is user authentication using SvelteKit and PocketBase. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe. Take care, and as always, have a great day.